Hello and welcome back to the Chicken Police, Painted Red. Last left off, we're about to interrogate Madame Zaiwass.
Deceit is everything to Zavas. She used to be a spy, so I'm gonna take her every word with a grain of salt.
Makes sense. So who really is behind the legend, Miss Zaiwass? Who are you, really?
Who's behind the legend, Miss Zavas? Who are you, really?
Just an animal raised to survive, Mr. Featherland. And because I've been taught, I know how to survive. I always was what I had to be.
And you managed to dodge my question. Clever.
Well, you see, this is one of the typical elements of survival. The way of dodging a delicate question and still making the questioner believe he got the answer. But you're too cunning and experienced, aren't you? You're not an easy one to fool.
I'm trying to maintain appearances, ma'am.
You should. Appearances, most of the time, are stronger and more dangerous than the truth.
I see. You could be direct, but are you really the king's spy?
Tell me, were you really the king's spy?
If that's such an open secret, then I haven't been doing my job very well, isn't that right? Yes, I was a spy. But that's such a blunt way of putting it. I always say I used to undertake confidential, generally political assignments of a delicate nature for the king that were in the interests of national security.
Put that way, it sounds rather romantic.
Don't believe the cheap fiction, Mr. Featherland. Espionage is anything but romantic.
I believe you, madam.
If you must know, I only did it because I believed I could protect those that I serve. Weapons have only one use in this world: to keep the peace. Yes, I always thought about myself and my craft that way.
Thank you for your honesty, ma'am.
Well, you can ask about the place. Why did you decide to open up a,
Why did you decide to open a brothel?
You know, this place used to be an orphanage. Then after the Great Avian Plague, a hatchery. Then, young mothers lived here who had nowhere else to go. That's when I took over.
Young mothers and prostitutes. That feels like a sharp turn.
No, it didn't happen like that, of course. The process took 20 years, but one thing remains the same. I wanted to help girls who had nothing and no one. To help them.
And this was the best you could do, helping them sell their bodies.
You see things very superficially, Mr. Featherland. We're a family who helped each other even at the worst of times, took care of each other, and what's most important, survived. Yes, survive, no matter the cost.
And it's the cherry on top of the most treasured secrets of the rich and famous.
Very insightful, Mr. Featherland. There's truth to that. Knowledge is power, as they say. And we know a lot about powerful animals that could be used as weapons.
yeah. I guess who the card belongs to, will you tell me?
If I guess who the card belongs to, will you tell me?
I wouldn't say that's an acceptable price for such a secret as this, but if you guess right, I won't lie to you. Then, I will tell you you were right. Yes.
Good. Let's see. The answer to my question. Natasha Katsenko.
Well, Mr. Featherland, it seems the gossip about you is right. What gave it away?
Its location?
It couldn't have been easier. There's a beautiful woman with a mysterious past, trying to keep it a secret, while someone's threatening her with the exact same thing, leaving rather unmistakable messages behind. Plus, we found the card on Deborah, who was her best friend and confidant, so she was either trying to hide it or destroy it forever, so no one could find out the truth. Am I right so far?
Indeed, Mr. Featherland.
So if I'm not mistaken, Natasha used to work for you before she met Ibn Wessler. He fell in love with her, gave her a job at the Millions Club. The rest is history.
You have talent, Mr. Featherland. I'm really sorry you're not working for the government.
I am working for the government. I'm a cop.
Are you sure, Mr. Featherland?
Touché.
Indeed. Natasha used to work here. We can put it that way, but you know, this isn't just a workplace. She also lived here. She was part of our family, and we still love her very much.
Right. That puts everything in a different light. Zaiwass is a true survivor, always was. And she's proud of that, even to this day. Maybe I can get her to trust me if I play to this part of her.
Oh, why'd you take her in? Maybe you saw yourself in Natasha?
Why did you take her in? Maybe you saw yourself in Natasha.
She was only 17 when she knocked on the rear entrance of the brothel on an unusually cold, rainy night. I opened the door myself.
Was Natasha alone?
Yes, completely alone. Her left arm was slashed with an ugly wound, and she was frozen to the bone, barefoot, only a thin nightgown on her.
Oh my.
Did she tell you what happened to her?
After I brought her into the house, warmed her up, and changed her into new clothes, that was the first thing I asked. But no, she didn't tell me. We became very good friends, but I still don't know what happened to her and where she came from, or how she knew about this place and the rear entrance.
And you weren't bothered by all those secrets?
That would have been very hypocritical of me, don't you think? No, it didn't bother me. I make a living out of secrets, Mr. Featherland.
Yeah, but you also made a living off of discovering secrets.
I see.
Where Natasha came from before Clawville.
Do you know where Natasha came from before Clawville?
Naturally. The poor dear couldn't even deny it. Even her name's eloquent, her accent, but mostly her manners, Mr. Featherland. She's from Zavas, and she belonged to the upper class of Stavonian social circles. She could barely even speak the language when I first met her.
I see.
That's all you know about her. An ex-spy like you must have checked up on her new protege's past.
That's the most exciting thing. Yes, I have. Multiple times putting my most treasured connections to good use. But nobody found anything. Natasha's trail could only be traced back to the Stavonian border. What happened in that country, no one knows.
Interesting.
It's rather curious, don't you think?
It is, Mr. Featherland. Yes, curious. That's why I've always been rather fond of Natasha.
Did it touch you deeply when she left you?
Indeed, it did.
Zaiwass is protective. It seems she's dedicating her whole life to her proteges. If I concentrate on that, maybe she'll open up to me.
Yeah. You kept in touch with Natasha?
Have you kept in touch?
Only occasionally, Mr. Featherland. She writes to me every few weeks, and very rarely we talk on the phone. But I haven't heard from her in weeks. The truth is, I've started to worry about her.
Did she give no sign of being in trouble?
Never. No. Natasha's not the kind to talk about her feelings.
Yeah, I've noticed that myself.
Yeah. was the last time you saw her?
When was the last time you saw her, Madame Zavas?
Maybe around 2 months ago. There was a ball, attended by Ibn Wessler, his beautiful mate Natasha, and myself. Yes.
Was she herself? Did you feel like she was afraid or worried about something?
On the contrary, she was unrestrained, free, radiant. She was in love. Yes, in her own unique way.
What do you mean?
You know Natasha loves on a different level than most Clawville women. Or most women in the wilderness, in fact. Maybe it's because of the Stovonian origins. Perhaps it's something else.
So you didn't notice anything strange about her?
Well, if anything could be called strange, it was that I saw a woman positively floating above the ground, who previously used to stand on it with 2 feet.
I see. Thank you, madam.
How'd you feel when you learned Natasha was leaving?
How did you feel when you learned Natasha was going to leave?
Honestly, I was very hurt. I loved her as a daughter. How would you have felt?
I couldn't say.
And I still couldn't stop her, and you know why?
Of course I do. Because you loved her.
You've been in my shoes before, am I right, Detective? Yes, I can feel you have.
Yeah.
This isn't about me, madam. Please stop changing the subject.
I have felt betrayed on a certain level. Yes, and offended, and alone. Even amongst all my friends.
Were you disappointed in her?
Only in myself, Mr. Featherland. But I have a hunch you know this feeling very well.
Yes, you're right. Well, thank you for your time, madam.
Anytime, Detective. Yes, anytime.
Nice. Perfect job. Exactly what I've done it 10 years ago. Beware, Clawville, Sunny Featherland, and the chicken police are back. Tasha worked at the sweltering Nile brothel. Before even Wessler discovered her and got her out of there. Alright, let's continue.
Please, gentlemen, wait here a moment. I would like to show you something that could help you.
Oh, that's excellent news. Thank you. We will wait.
Do you trust her?
Not in the slightest. Even her smile is fake. This woman wallowed in other animals' secrets until she became one too.
That's exactly how I feel.
Anyway, now that we're here, we can take a better look around.
Just what I was thinking.
Okay.
Nothing interesting here. Yes, this is the Zaiwass from the legends. Beautiful and deadly.
We also have far more information here. Great bird flu, or the Great Avian Plague, was an epidemic that spread to the entire continent of Altera and killed almost 40% of the world's avian population. Clawville, the disease wreaked havoc, killing almost 50% of the city's avian population. Wow. Finally, the bird flu was subdued by a vaccine developed in Arbia and the establishment of several hatching houses, but the damage it caused hasn't been repaired even to this day. After Great Bird Flu, several hatching houses were established in Clawville. These places were maternity wards, orphanages, hospitals, and homes for new mothers. But first and foremost, the most important function was to revive the city's avian population. Enterprise was slow but successful, and today almost a third of the Clawville's population consists of several different species of birds, including chickens. Tasha worked at the sweltering Nile brothel before Ibn Wessler discovered her and got her out of there. Yeah. Zaiwass and Natasha did not only know of each other, but had a serious, close relationship. Not even Zaiwass could trace every piece of Natasha's obscure past, even though she tried to utilize all of her connections and influence in the matter. Touched her deeply when Natasha, whom she loved like a daughter, left the Nile for Ibn Wessler.
These books are here for a reason. They mean something.
Yeah.
These books are here for a reason. They mean something.
Slime of Punishment, Cobblestone Blink, 7 Pieces of My Mind, Death of the Horse, 49 Years of the Reptile, 1 Key to the Animal Mind. Wait a minute. A lot of those are numbers. Let's see here. 741? Or maybe 749. Of course, actual 749 would be over there, but eh. Okay. Oh, there we go.
A hidden door. Who'd have thought?
She is a legendary ex-spy.
Yeah.
Well, this is something I've never understood. Why isn't a key good enough? I mean, you can take that with you, but riddles can be solved by anyone.
Yeah.
I don't think many animals get to be in this room, Marty. And the other thing is...
Maybe she wanted us to find it.
exactly what I'm thinking. Who knows? Anyway, we're going in.
Okay.
This room is not like her at all.
Well,
The other must have been for show. Marty, this is the reality. We're talking about a professional spy.
A former spy.
Still, if anyone knows how to mask her real face, it's her.
But
Oh,
you
yeah.
think this is who she really is? Cold, dark, and tiny.
And full of secrets.
So the rumors are true.
Military intelligence. This dame's really something. I'm starting to think the whole brothel is just a cover.
Makes sense. You think she's still working for Royal Intelligence?
Well, based on what she told us, she's a committed royalist. So I imagine she does. If we fly too close to the sun, we burn our wings.
Hector III, our great and fair king.
I feel sorry for the poor fox, to be honest.
I don't. He has it pretty good.
Would you like to live your life as a puppet? Everything you do, carefully planned. Your rule and authority, the whole thing, just for show.
Even if he is just a puppet, Clawville needs a king. He gives strength and hope to many animals.
I guess. We shouldn't cross the king. That would be beyond our pay grade.
yep.
If we fly too close...
Nothing else here. Bunch of drawers. And it looks like someone.
Ah, names, numbers, dates. Oh, furry gods.
Do you think they all belong to the brothel?
Hell no. Half of it is a matter of national security.
What did we step into?
You know what? I don't care, Marty. I'm too old for conspiracies. The only thing that matters to me is to find out what the furry hell we're doing here.
And what it has to do with Natasha.
Sure. I don't want to know what's in them, and there's no time to search the place either.
Ugh, this place gives me the creeps.
Me too. We better get out of here before she comes back.
Ugh, this place...
Me too.
Okay.
Somebody started typing a letter, but left it unfinished.
What does it say?
Number 2947222. Report about separatist group movements.
Damn it. Don't even read that.
What? Why not?
I don't know about you, but I don't want to get caught up in the royalist-separatist conflict. What you don't know can't hurt you, right?
Kinda.
I can't even recognize you, boss. Where did you put your sense of adventure?
My sense of adventure has retired. Leave it alone. Just forget it's here, Sonny. That's not what you're looking for.
Well, what we've got is probably in that strange book, but that'll be for another time. When we come back, folks, it looks like we're heading in somewhere deep. Have a good one, folks.